Spiders are pretty cool animals. I thought it would be fun to make one. So we have the supplies here to make a pretty big spider. You'll need an oval of felt, and you'll need 4 pieces of wire. These pieces of wire are twisted together, and so you'll just need to untwist them in order to have enough to do the legs for your spider. Now, since a spider, unlike an insect, the spider has 8 legs. So by taking the 4 pieces of wire and making them go straight across, you end up with 8 legs. To make the body of your spider, you're going to take a needle and thread. You'll make a knot in the end of your thread. And then you're going to stitch all the way around the edge of this felt. Now, these stitches can be pretty large because their only job is to serve as sort of a drawstring for you to make the body come together. So I'm just stitching my way around the edge, and just kind of a dolphin stitch where if the needle is the dolphin, it's jumping out of the water and into the water. Rather than going around the edge of the fabric, it's just going up and down. And when you get back to where you started, you're ready to put a little fluff inside of your spider body. So you can see when you pull on the thread, it makes a little bowl. And I have here some dryer lint that I'm just gonna stuff inside to make the spider body. This dryer lint is a little bit on the sandy side, but it'll work just fine. Okay, so once you have some stuffing in there, you can pull your thread tight, and then you'll just stitch across a few times just to make it so that your spider's body will stay closed. Now, most insects have a 3-part body, but spiders have 2 parts. The part with the head is called the cephalothorax, and the other part is called the abdomen. So we're going to use our thread to take this single piece body and turn it into a 2-part body like a spider. Now I've run out of thread, so I'm going to get another needle with some thread on it. If you still have thread left on your needle after stitching around, you can just stitch a few times and then you'll just be able to keep going. Okay, so here I am with my thread coming out the middle of the center. And what I'm going to do is just wrap this thread from the bottom up over the back of the spider body and back down. It's kind of like putting a little belt on your spider. And then you'll tug. See how it's tugging in and making 2 parts? Then you'll go around again. So we're putting a little belt on our spider to make it so that its body has 2 parts. The head part is the cephalothorax and the back part is the abdomen. Now we are ready for legs. So we have these 4 pieces of wire. You're going to make them so they're pretty even on the ends. Just slide them. Then you're going to twist them. So the cool thing about metal is that it's malleable, which means you can change its shape without it breaking, but it will stay in that shape. So we now have 8 legs. And after you've got them twisted like that, you're just going to place them underneath your spider. And you still have your thread there. And now you're just going to stitch around your legs. Now, this requires a little patience. Whoops, you have to try not to get too tangled up in the legs. But if you do, don't panic. You can always snip the thread and start again if things get too tangled. But really all we're doing here is coming up with a way to make it so that our spider's legs will stay attached to its body. So you can go back and forth in a variety of ways to make sure that those legs will stay. So once you've stitched enough times to feel like those legs are going to stay put on your spider, you're just going to snip the thread and make sure you put your needle somewhere safe so you don't lose it. And now you've got a spider with a cephalothorax, an abdomen, and 8 legs. Now, it's fun to position those legs to make it sort of stand up. Now, most spiders have a lot more eyes than we do. Some of them have 8 eyes. They tend to have 2 main eyes on the front and then a bunch of smaller eyes that help them see motion out to the side, which helps explain why spiders are so good at avoiding being captured and also at capturing their own prey. So there's your spider. You might decide to use another color thread and stitch on decorations or eyes or give it a pattern. Different types of spiders have different patterns on their bodies and even underneath their bodies. You might decide to do that, or you might decide to leave it like this. Have fun!